Hey everybody, it's Pastor Mel, and I just wanted to invite you to a spiritual practice that will help to open us to the healing and wholeness of Jesus and that same healing that we need to bring out into our world. So the refrains of our community right now are filled with sounds of sadness and loss, anger and disappointment. These melodies are dark and deep. The reasons for our heaviness are many, and not the least of which are an unbelievably stressful election season, the 7th month of isolation during a pandemic, and uncovering ugly truths about racism. So last week, I had encouraged you to consider the practice of fasting, a discipline of removal or refraining in order to be filled instead with God. So this week, let's come at this communal despair from another angle. Blessing others. Right now, I think our tendency, mine included, is to withdraw and nurse our wounds. There is so much division and arguments, confusion and abuses swirling around us. Our self-preservation instincts are telling us that taking cover is definitely the safest option. But this week, can I invite you to join me in stepping out from behind our shields in order to generously offer blessing to others? Adele Calhoun beautifully describes the richness of this practice of blessing others. She writes, "Blessing enlarges our hearts. When we speak God's love into a life, we help that person build a shield of truth around their heart, which protects them from the accuser." Did you catch that? When we speak a blessing over another person instead of a curse, or instead of withholding that blessing, we are speaking the love of God into their life. Blessing others is a way to partner with the Spirit of truth, the Spirit of God who does not condemn us, but calls us beloved children, the Spirit who advocates for us and intercedes on our behalf, the Spirit who guides us into peace and joy and truth. In blessing others, we let go of our fear of comparison, of not being enough, of not having enough, and instead we step into partnership with God in God's kingdom of abundance. Blessing others can look a million different ways. This is where it gets fun and creative. This could look like writing a note and dropping it in the mailbox, or typing out a long email, or sending a simple text. Blessing others might mean shouting an overly enthusiastic hello to your neighbor, or cutting the last remaining flowers from your garden and bringing them to your friend. Blessing others might taste like fresh donuts or homemade bread or frozen pizza, just to say that I see you, I love you. What's important in this practice of blessing isn't so much the particulars of what you do or say, but simply allowing the Holy Spirit to prompt you to action. So in these days, when we can all use an abundance of encouragement, and where cursing seems to be the choice of communication, let's choose instead to heap blessing on one another.